Hello, guys, and welcome to Indiana Sports Connection. Miles Rice, apparently, he is the straw that stirs the drink on this Indiana team. What a difference we saw in the game. We're going to talk about it all on this live stream episode of Indiana Sports Connection. Let's get into it. Hello, guys, and welcome to Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this community on here. We're going to talk about the Hoosiers basketball game yesterday against South Carolina, and we're going to talk about Curt Cignetti and what he is going to bring to the Hoosiers from now until 2032. So they got him locked up for $8 million a year. We will go over the article that I saw, just some of the details, and bravo to Pam Whitten and Scott Dolson to bring him in long-term. But more importantly, Indiana was like night and day. I mean, they really took it to South Carolina, and they just extended what was a dominant second half against Eastern Illinois. And then Miles Rice was just able to push the tempo and push the pace in this game when he needed to. In these first few games, you could tell he's really trying to figure out, who am I on the court a little bit? What does Mike Woodson want from me? And in this game, you could tell they had some real flow between him and also Kanaan Carlisle. I don't want to leave him out because I will say he is my second favorite player on this team. What he is able to do so far in this game, I thought Kanaan Carlisle showed a lot of just like toughness and overall like had an attitude of like, I'm not going to back down from anybody. I thought the three-pointer that Carlisle hit in the corner, I thought it was the first one where I saw him really, really get his like feet under him, get his elbow under the ball, and had perfect form and put the three-pointer in. And then he came down on the other end and blocked a shot. So that was my play of the day for Kanaan Carlisle. We'll get into talking about that, all that and more on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. But if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you so much for joining me. We're on our way to 1,300 subscribers. We're like 9 away. So hit the subscribe button. I have a giveaway. I will be giving away a home field apparel shirt. I got one from Rally House in a large size, and I got the receipt. So the giveaway will be on this video. So if this video hits 1,300 subscribers and you leave a comment down below, you will be entered to win the shirt, and I'll send it to you with the receipt so you can get whatever you want if you don't want that particular shirt. And this episode is also brought to you by BetUS. Use my promo code Indiana125. The link is in the description down below. You will get 125% free bets on your first 3 deposits by using Indiana125, that promo code, and that helps out the channel here, helps us buy new equipment and keep making these videos for all of you out there. So, and also all of the AdSense revenue on this channel goes to t2t.org. So thank you so much for being here. Hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, get the video out to more subscribers around the planet, around the globe, and around the state, and around the country. Work or play, you're on your way. The convenience stores of Speedway. I got that in my head, but we're going to get into talking about the Indiana Hoosiers coming up right now. So I got all my notes out here, and Indiana got out to a little bit of a slow start in this game, and I really thought Mbako got him going early on. Made it like a gamble on a steal, kind of got out of position. The announcer kept saying that Indiana led the entire way. They were down 4-0 early in the game, but very quickly, Miles Rice just took it to this team. He had them. Well, here's what I saw early. When they were going down low to Ballo or Renew, they were coming quick on the double team. When Indiana was able to pass it quickly out of the double team and get the ball back out of the perimeter, then South Carolina was just chasing from that point on. It really was nice to see. And Miles Rice was the straw that was really stirring the drink out there. Him and Carlisle were able to really do their thing and get this game going in the right direction off of the break. So we're going to go through all the players here because besides Rice and Carlisle, Bryson Tucker, what a great, like every game, Bryson Tucker, he is maybe the smartest player on our team. This core of players, Tucker, Rice, Carlisle, how those guys blend in, and Goody too, even though, Goody plays mostly with the second team with Galloway. And we're going to talk about that in just a second because he's got to start making these shots. I mean, Goody we brought him in to make these shots. At a certain point, it's like laughing about it. Ha ha, he missed a few shots, but he's got to make them. He's got to make them. And we do have some clips of Mike Woodson here also. But yeah, Goody coming in with a second team. But let's first talk about how Miles Rice was able to, what was Indiana really doing early on in this game to get them off balance? I thought Rice, and I feel like this is the type of player Mike Woodson needs, like a guy that can really make the right reads on his own. When he's going super fast, he has to see when he's drawing the defense in, when he's that's the time to make the pass. And that's what he did in this game. He chose his spots to drive here and dish, and had a really nice steal and just a over the top of the head pass to Galloway in this game also. And those were some of the critical plays. Bryson Tucker, I went back and rewatched the game. How he moves away from the ball, he is one of our smartest players. And nobody was talking about him in the offseason, but this core of guys, and something else to mention in this game, the rotation got a little bit different because we did not see Hatton. If he did come in this game, he played less than 2 minutes, but I don't believe Hatton came in and played at all, and then GAMECOCKS didn't play at all. So you practically got the starters starting Rice and Carlisle with Ballo, Renew, and Mbako. And then, I wrote this down. One of the best combinations I thought that was out there was Rice and Carlisle. When they were out there with Galloway, Tucker, and Renew, that was a team that could really push the pace. Renew is a pretty good passer. He's getting better at passing out of the double team. So I just thought that matchup, when they had those guys out there, because you got three guards, and you got Tucker, who is very smart. Right now, Tucker is outplaying Luke Goody for a spot on this team, really. He's hitting his mid-range shots. He knows the shots that he's going to hit, and that's what you like to see. This guy's a McDonald's All-American that nobody was talking about, but he knows his game, and he's got a fundamentally soundness to his game that you just feel comfortable with. You don't feel like he's ever going to be overwhelmed. Guys playing tight defense on him. He knows how to use his pivot foot and pivot around and find the right pass. And he knows how to cut and get in. That is the other part of this game that I thought Indiana was their cutting was in the first half of the last game. Their cuts were 50%. You can't just loave a cut down to the lane. There's even one that really sticks out in my mind is Galloway had they call that a 45 cut, and it's he streaks in, Ballo catches him with the pass, and he had a reverse lay in there, and he missed the shot. But it's those are the types of plays. Those are the types of things. Yeah, and I got written down here, Ballo, his rim protecting, and he moved his feet much better. I don't know if these guys are watching my videos, but maybe they are. Maybe they're not. That's wishful thinking. But Ballo, he did his job. This guy is going to scoop up rebounds. He's going to impact if he can just stay, not get himself too far away from the basket. They can filter everything down to this guy, And you could tell South Carolina, one of their guards, he was like 5'11". When he drove down in there, and you got three big guys, Mbako, Renew, and Ballo, all playing around the basket. And then you look at what Tucker can do. Tucker is long and lean. He can block shots. And then Carlisle is no slouch on defense either. So when you're able to filter guys down to Ballo, that's what you want, because Ballo had some times where he was just playing volleyball out there with those guys. And we've barely even touched on Galloway. So this second unit coming off the bench, I really, really like. And Goody, he has got to figure it out, because if he's going to be out there with Galloway, he's going to find him on the pass. He's going to find him open, and Goody's got to knock these shots down. That is the one part of our offense that has not showed itself yet that is coming. Goody just has to get comfortable, and we just need to see more out of him next game. Carlisle, he was 2 of 5 on threes, and one of those, and Mike Woodson was pissed off about this. One of those was the long alley-oop that he threw that went into the basket. And I mean, it was an aggressive idea. I guess I can see why. And I'm going to play some clips here of Mike Woodson, because he, after the game, said I was surprised that he was disappointed with some of the play after the game. It was actually good to hear from the coach to kind of, put it out there that, yeah, we won the game. But see, I didn't see, when I even rewatched the game, I saw some laws for a few minutes here or there, especially when we got up by 15 or 18. There were some laws where we weren't as aggressive. But, I mean, that's going to happen when you do go ahead by that amount of points. I did not see many laws in the game, rewatching it, like, where I thought, oh, like, they're not trying hard here. I mean, everybody's going to have a moment in a basketball game where they are trying to get their crap together. But I thought overall the performance for Indiana was as good as what they could have done against the Power 5 team. I don't want to overreact to this, because South Carolina, they could be complete garbage, but you're playing like real guys. I mean, Pringle, this guy's like, he played 3 years at Alabama. He's playing 3 years at South Carolina. But yeah, it was like that offense they were running. And let's talk about the game plan here next, because Mike Woodson really got the ball out of Murray Boyle's hands. This was what I was talking about in my last video. This guy is kind of like a clone of TJD. I mean, you can really see he's left-handed. He's like 6'8", but he plays like a real physical game, and he gets like straight line drives. He's got real quickness to the rim, and the Hoosiers just shut him down entirely. Almost immediately, he got his first foul, then didn't want to get his second foul, and that took him out of the game. And that's what really forced them to go to Pringle the whole game and put that guy in a position that he just didn't want to be in. So, and then we're going to take a look at what Mike Woodson said here. And, yeah, it was just, this was a little bit baffling to me. Just, see this clip here.
Last week. Yeah, that's behind us. I thought Miles played great. Shot the ball well. It was kind of nice to see Kanan make some shots as well. We scored 87 points, and I don't really know how we got there, because I just didn't think we played good offense tonight, even though we made shots from the three-point line. So I got to help us get better in that regard.
Todd, and then Mike.
But yeah, where he said he didn't really think they played good offense. They scored 87 points. I mean, they were like 47% field goal percentage. They were very efficient, even on the three-pointers. I mean, they made 8 three-pointers in this game. I think he wants it to be more like read and react. I would love to go to their practices and see. I mean, in the NBA, you get more players. Like when you watch Jamal Murray and the Joker, it's all read and react. I mean, And that's what I could really see out of Miles Rice. It's draw the defense in, make them commit, then make the pass. Make them commit, then make the pass. So Woodson, a little bit upset there. That's good. I mean, he needs to like stay on these guys. They're going to have some easy games. They got one easy game coming up this week on Thursday before they got the big tournament in Atlanta. So because we're going to play these weak teams, we don't want this team to have a big head. They don't play a team inside the top 70 until I believe it's like January 14th or January 17th when they play Ohio State. So yes, they played great. Got to keep it all in perspective though, because they played great in this game, but with South Carolina, they really got taken out of sorts. They made a lot of threes in the first half that kept them in the game, but then they continued to shoot those threes, and it did not fare well for them as the game went on, as they just really got beat up from the line as the game went on. So grab my phone real quick. I do not see it. But play this clip of Mike Woodson, the second clip in the press conference here, and I'm going to grab my phone real quick also. Here's Mike Woodson, another clip of what he had to say after the game.
They had 12, 13 assists tonight. That's not good. Put the ball in the hole. If they play the right way and play unselfish, and we only had 12, 13 assists tonight. That's not good. I mean, we got to be better in that area. We had, been moving the ball, and we got to have more assists. 12 assists is not going to get it.
Zach and then Quinn.
Coach, you kind of mentioned the shooting is 8 of 17 from three-point range, kind of where you'd like it, or is there still room for improvement there?
Well, hey, I'll take what if we can get much better than that, I'll take it. But tonight was a step forward in making threes. We took, we shoot 47% from the threes. So, I mean, that's, anybody in college basketball would take that, so we just got to keep working at it and keep improving.
Last question, Quinn.
Yeah, Coach, you guys all had 7 made threes in that first half. It seemed like a lot of guys were going under ball screens. Was that talked about at the halftime break? Because in the second half, just 1 made 3 allowed.
Well, we cleaned it up a little bit, but, we just, when guys are making threes, you can sit and shake your head, and my thing is you're not close enough. If you're able to just catch and shoot the basketball, and we got to get better in that area. I mean, where guys are just not comfortable catching the ball and lacing it up. And I thought the first half we were awful in guarding the three-point line, and they made us pay for it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, there he was after the game. Yeah, disappointed with some of the offensive play of how the team was performing. I mean, I didn't see it. I thought Rice was much improved. Now, I mean, I watched the first half of that Eastern Illinois game, so compared to that, like Rice and Carlisle were really taking it to guys and making them make a decision on where to go, and Indiana was hitting shots from the outside. That was what was great to see. Also, they hit their free throws. Now they got out-rebounded on the offensive end, but I do feel like that was Indiana shot a high percentage. So a lot of the reason in that statistic why South Carolina, they had a lot of misses around the basket. When you have a lot of misses right around the basket, you're getting a lot of your own rebounds. So, I mean, a few of those were that. So we'll chalk that up to that. Malik Renew has got to get better at rebounding. Malik Renew, and I'll tell you my take on this because I saw him a few times during the game, and he scored like 16 points. They have 5 guys in double-digit figures. I wrote down like that is a great stat line for a college game. When you got 5 guys scoring in double figures, and really, I think the guy that needs to get added into that can score in double figures every game is Luke Goody. Needs to make 3 3-pointers at least every game. And then he would score around 10, maybe average around 10 for this team. But so far, you see that Rice, Tucker, Carlisle, Galloway, Ballo, Renew, Mbako, all those guys should be in double figures. Renew, and here's my take on Renew. He needs to learn what to do when the ball's not in his hands. When I rewatched the game, I watched him a lot, and the only reason why I'm so hard on this guy is because he has so much potential on this team. He has so much potential to be a real lockdown player on this Indiana team if he wants to be a great rebounder and to be a better defender. I felt like in this game, now he got some fouls. I think he ended up with 4 fouls, but he needs to do that. He seems lost a little bit when he's like not like the main guy just getting the ball in his hands. And at times, that's just what I want to see out of him this year. If he could get better at those things, this team could be unstoppable. We have Mbako and Carlisle playing much better defense than they were in the last game. Mbako's playing unreal, and I knew this guy had it in him. I mean, he's like the Terminator out there, I swear. He's just like, come with me if you want to live. You tell this guy to do something. Rebounding, I think Mbako had 8 rebounds. I don't have the stats in front of me right now. I was rushing back from church to try to get back here and do this live stream, and they were confirming people today and stuff, so we'll get out of there late. So my apologies to you on that. But, you know, Mbako, he has taken it amongst himself to be a great rebounder. I want to see Renew do the same thing. Like, if you do all this weightlifting, if you're doing all this, like, you know, getting your body in great shape, Renew, then take it amongst yourself to use that body to grab some rebounds. Okay. Michael, thank you so much for being here on the live stream. I like how Ballo impacted the game with his defense and rebounding. We talked about that. I did as well because, yeah, he was a beast out there. He was doing the stuff that you want him to be doing. So, and I wrote down Mbako. I mean, he is just like a great buckets guy. I mean, he's almost turned himself on this team into, he's getting to the rim more. I know they're playing lesser competition, but he's hitting his 3-pointers. The team's hitting their free throws as well. That was going to be late in the game. You could tell they were going to like a hack-a-shack with Ballo. Then Ballo knocked down 2 of the free throws. So they were like 81% on free throws. That's huge. Free throws, rebounding, the simple things. These are the things that the other guys can do when Miles Rice and Carlisle and Galloway and the guards are more controlling the ball. These are the things that these other guys could do. This is what like Race Thompson brought to the team 2 years ago that like nobody really ever noticed. He wasn't like the most, you know, critically athletic or 5-star player, but he rebounded the crap out of the ball. That's what he brought to you. Bryson Tucker is doing a pretty good job rebounding as well. I see him and Mbako really taking amongst themselves to go after rebounds. So there, let's see here. And we got the leave your comments down below. I definitely want to hear from everybody. We got the giveaway coming up on probably the next episode. And let's read this article that, all right. So Curt Cignetti here. Cignetti inks 8-year contract through 2032. And we'll just read like the beginning of this, but it's so exciting to have Cignetti. So Indiana University IU head football coach Curt Cignetti have agreed to terms on a new 8-year contract with an average annual compensation of $8 million. That puts him in the big leagues. Kirby Smart makes $13 million a year. He's the highest paid in all of college football. Since arriving on campus, Coach Cignetti has been the architect of one of college football's greatest turnarounds and has shown the world that IU also is a football school, said University President Pamela Whitten. And hats off to Pamela Whitten, getting it done down there for Indiana. Coach Cignetti exemplifies IU's goal to win in all that we do. The success he's brought to Indiana University is a shining light that is amazing about Indiana University. we are excited that Coach Cignetti and his wonderful family will be a part of the Hoosier Nation for many years to come. So that is super exciting. All right. And then Cignetti had this to say, I am beyond appreciative. I saw him on a show. They approached him with this contract. You know, he wasn't saying anything about like wanting a new deal, but they approached him and they got it done. And he is grateful. The IU community has embraced us, said Cignetti. I look forward to leading this outstanding program and doing my part to continue the momentum. He had a great line on the show I was watching yesterday. They were asking him about the contract and everything like that. And he's like, I'm not going to leave. We're an emerging superpower. So why would I leave now? I just thought that was hilarious and classic Cignetti, but not too much else. Enjoy the weekend. Indiana doesn't play. I figured I'd make this video before my afternoon is ruined by watching the Colts lose to the Jets. So, and I'm going to make a more in-depth video talking about the basketball game on Monday and Tuesday, and also talking Monday. I'll make a video talking about the Ohio State game. I didn't want to make one last week talking about Ohio State yet, but it is time to direct our attention to Indiana football and what Ohio State is going to try to do to the Hoosiers. So we'll talk about that tomorrow and the basketball team as well. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. Until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.